Afternoon, people. Change your location. Forced to change location. Outside at the moment, Storm Bert is raging. Plus, I've got a stinking cold I can't get rid of, so it's quite literally an import in a storm. But with this one, I fast forwarded from Santa Maria, Sierra de Santa Maria, down to the coast, down to Vera. In actual fact, it's just that the journey down, I did record it, but it's very bitty, not all that interesting, to be honest. I didn't think it was anyway, so I've fast forwarded. We're down at Vera now, and on the campsite at VerdeVeras. Sadly, I didn't have the forethought to have a proper look at the campsite with the camera, but you'd have to take my word for it. It's a really nice, bog standard, no frills campsite. €10 a night, and that counts for a lot, that doesn't me. Right on the edge of town, so easy stroll into town for a bit of tapas, what have you. Anyway, this one, it's around the coast, a section of coastline I've never explored before, up to sort of beyond Vera, up towards San Juan, up at the top, but we didn't get into the town. Like I say, up the coastline, and then came back. And the one thing I wanted to have a look at was one of these ramblers, the dried up riverbeds. So I had a little ride along one of those, and then back to the campsite. So I was hoping it was going to be much shorter than it is, but it's still just over 30 minutes. But it is what it is. But I just hope you find it interesting. That's all. Okay then, see what you think, and yeah, I'll see you the next one anyway. Cheers. So here we are, just going up for sunrise over Vera Verde camping. There's the lights of Vera town itself. And the campsite building's been lit up by the rising sun. And back to my little palace and blizzard. Only a short one today, I think. I'm just going to do a little bit of local exploring, just leaving the campsite, which is over there on the right. Yes, it's a strange sort of campsite as VerdeVeras. It's not actually a campsite as such. It's an association that English lady Rachel has set up, and it's a project. Conservation project amongst other things, and she doesn't have employees, she has volunteers, and for their work around the place they get free accommodation. It's, like I say, it's an interesting setup in many ways. It's clean, it's got the facilities one would want, just no frills, which sometimes is ideal, and it's great for me, for my needs. Showers are good. There's the bus station on the left there. Oh, there's a cafe there. I had a run into Vera last night. It's I was looking for something to eat, to be honest. It was a bit early. I know the Spanish don't tend to sit down for an evening meal until 8 or even 9 o'clock at night. Well, I couldn't wait that long. And the rest of them were just cafes with tapas. It's another place is Vera. It's in two halves, I suppose, really. It's where most people tend to live, in and around Vera, and then about 4.5 miles down the road there's Vera Playa. Which is the holidaymakers Vera, if you like. Vera Beach. You see the Med in front of us, the Mediterranean, just about. The sun's glistening off it now. One or two freighters out there. Now I know that the next place south is Garrucha, which is where a lot of gypsum is loaded up from gypsum mines for use in plaster. So yeah, Garrucha's over there to the right. I've just picked out the pueblo of Mahaca as well, just across there, the hilltop village that I explored last year. Got behind the trees now. Now I've seen that emblem all over the place, this one, like a skeleton with a rainbow over the top of it. I'll have to see what that is. That might be the emblem to this locality. Nice ornamental roundabout. I would imagine that looks like Roman origin to me. Roman pillars. Yes, Garrucha's this way, and Playas del Vera. Puerto del Rey. This will be the first target this morning. That'll put me on the coast road, and it does look to be a nice coastal road for about, I don't know, 15 kilometres. We shall see. Something I've read about places, a lot of places. The most famous one that I'm thinking of was the Rambla. The Rambla, generally speaking, the Rambla is a dried up riverbed, but the most famous Rambla of them all is actually a street in the middle of Barcelona. Never been to Barcelona, so I've not seen it. Somewhere I'd like to go though. Only for Gaudi's Cathedral. Caters far more for the holidaymaker, does Vera Playa. Yeah, definitely. It's Uzi's holiday resort. Little bit of falsehood, I suppose, really. Hotel Zimbali Playa. Zimbali Playa. Right, I'm not exactly comfortable with these surroundings, so I'm going to switch off. Plenty of evidence here of the
productive nature of the place generally in and around Almeria, in Almeria province effectively. Yes, there's a lot of fruit and veg, fruit anyway, produced here in a lot of places, as evidenced by the massive sort of temporary greenhouse affairs, as you can see over on the left here. Acres and acres of the stuff, but it's not all good, because well, I was going to say it's not exactly slave labour, but from what I've read it probably is. We're just over the way on the other side of the Med is Africa, Morocco, and beyond. And these Africans have been invited across here to work for next to nothing, and they're given accommodation, but the accommodation's in a lot of cases absolutely diabolical. But that's just the way things are at the moment here. The camper van area, not exactly full at the minute though. Like a Martello tower, that is. It's obviously an original defence structure. Really can understand why people have just upped sticks and moved out here. Just how easy it is since Brexit. I mean, they're working on the Spanish are actually trying to get things changed a little bit with regard to the amount of time that people are limited. So, and then you've got this, whatever that is, I don't know. Terreros. Something else I'll have to look up. Why would you spend winter purgatory back at home when you could just, if you've got the wherewithal to do it, just up sticks, just come out here for winter, you know? I think it's 90 days is the limit these days. Now look, this is from a long time ago. That set of arches. Can't help thinking this is mining remains, these buildings. Not unlike some of the ruins you see in Cornwall around the tin mines, I suppose. Very much like Cornwall when you see the chimney stack there. I'm gonna have to look this up. Interesting. It really is more interesting than I thought it would be. Won't you buy me a Mercedes Benz? Yeah, never mind. Like the Ayrshire coast in places. It's almost like I'm on my way back down from Ayr back to Port Patrick in the coach. Well, not really, but you know what I mean. We have a tendency to make comparisons, don't we? Well, I do. Do you know, I think it might be time for a photo. Let's see what this is like, shall we? I'm not going to stop for long because once I won't go too near the edge. Once the wind stops blowing through, it starts to get a bit warm in this clobber. It really does. Well, photos taken. Research carried out. Villaricos or Villaricos we've just passed through back there, and the mining remains. Well, Villaricos was an important Phoenician, historically an important Phoenician port way back. But then in the 19th century it became a boomtown for silver mining of all things. Even with all the holiday properties and hotels and everything, it is a really nice stretch of coastline. Is this not the windy coastline and switchbacks that we had south of Mahaka last year, but it's really nice. And I'm looking at places for a camper van. Coming into urbanisation now. San Juan de los Terreros is the town we're going to be sort of turning round at. Rightio, that's it. We don't want to see much more of this on the video. Let's get in the shadow so I can switch off. Just on the way back, this looks a nice place. Interesting sounding name as well, Los Lobos. We'll have a look. It's only just off the road. More greenhouse areas. Doesn't look to be too spoilt by holiday industry. Looks quite a locals town, to be honest. Oh well, quite nice. And these are those workers I was talking about. I suppose they're not all from across the Mediterranean, but they're busy sowing the seeds and being watched over. Interesting. Yes, let's go find Palomares anyway. There's a lot more to this place than meets the eye. What I'm looking for is something I've read about. Is something called a rambla, which is a dried riverbed, it just gives a bit of off-road riding, which I've had already, to be honest, to get here. But just look at those factory buildings over there. I'm taking it's factory buildings. It's all must be part and parcel, unless it was accommodation for the miners, silver miners. This was, according to what I've just read, there was a railway line put in to take the ore away from the mines, and it came across here, and there was an iron bridge across the river, across here, across to our left. I could spend a long time. Industrial history is something that interests me, partly because I've been an engineer in the past, and it's interesting to see the industrial history of other countries besides the UK. I need more time. I need more time to look it up, to have a proper study. But yes, there is an information board here, and it does have English. So yeah, 1897, 60 centimetre track width, dandy wagon railway, linked Las Herreras with Villaricos, with transport of minerals from the Petronilla mine to the pier. Built in 40 days. Yeah. Just want to see if this is that fabled rambla. There's ramblers all over the place, and they're always dried up riverbeds. Definitely a riverbed. It's a bit different. It's a bit different to our riverbed in the manifold. It's got to be running with water now. I wonder if this does ever run again. A little bit of sandy stuff, which is never too comfortable to ride on. Stonework over on the left there looks like flood defences, as if it might well have flood pulses occasionally, but who knows. Certainly not me. I think that'll do. I'll see if there's a way out here. Yeah. The Rambler. Well, a Rambler anyway. I'm hoping so. That's a bit of off-road anyway. Legally. Let's go find Palomares again. Switch off for a few minutes. Well, this is Palomares that we're coming into. Certainly a degree of local residency. This looks like to be the centre of Palomares. It's got its nice bits. I mean, that's a lovely church. I've said before, I don't go to church. I'm not really religious at all, but I do appreciate different forms of church architecture. Market day. Oh, busy local market. Oh, God. There's vast areas to the left of us. Obviously, this is somewhere that people could come and park the vans free of charge and just exist, if you like. And we're a lot closer to those freighters out there now. They're waiting to come into Garucha. You can tell they're waiting to come in because they're unladen, sitting high in the water, coming in for the gypsum for making plaster. It's been a most enlightening little ride out for me, this has. Bit breezy. Maybe not swimming the Med today. Ah, yes. Van life. Spotted van life. Unless I'm mistaken, that's a turn of some sort. Yep. This is the big attraction. I can see it as well, yeah. What a lovely setup it is though, really. Doesn't look to be a lot of life at that beach restaurant, to be honest, but remains of a windmill. That's what it looks like anyway.
Of course, we mustn't forget that Palomares was the scene of a notorious disaster back in January 1966 when a B-52 Stratofortress from the American Air Force was in collision with the refueling tanker that they were mid-air refueling at the time. The tanker exploded completely, killing all the crew, and the Stratofortress, well, that fell apart basically. And it crashed to the surface, but it was carrying 4 nuclear missiles, or nuclear bombs, H bombs, as these hydrogen bombs, as they used to refer to them as. And although they didn't explode, some of the explosives within them did explode, and it resulted in plutonium escaping from them, and the whole place was contaminated. The whole area was contaminated around the beach, around Palomares, quite badly with plutonium. So the result of that was that nobody wanted anywhere near Palomares, but we believe it's fairly safe now. No unusual sightings, as I've seen anyway. Excuse me. So yeah, that was the Palomares incident of 1966.
Right, we're heading back into Vera now, so I'll switch off, and that'll be it for this morning. Thanks for watching and all the rest of it. Cheers.